Now we just talked about the host assigning itself an IP version 6 address. And that sounds great, sounds like less work for us, less admin work overall. But before we let the host use that address, the host should make sure no one else is already using that same address, because you may have seen on a device, where you get a duplicate IP address message for version 4. Well, we can't have that, but we definitely don't want version 6 addresses being used by multiple hosts either. So that's what DAD is going to do for us. The duplicate address detection procedure or process, it's just a quick verification of a version 6's address's uniqueness. And DAD, frankly, it's really just the host trying to have a conversation with itself. And should this attempt succeed, we have a problem. Not a mental one, it's a logical one. You'll see that in just a moment. Now, to perform DAD, what happens first is that the host sends out a neighbor solicitation message. Now, the destination of that NS is the address it just gave itself. It's trying to talk to itself. It is sending a message destined for the address it wants to use. But it's not in use yet. So the source address of that NS is what we call the IPv6 unspecified address. It is represented by a double colon and nothing else. Literally, it's 128 zeros. And again, the host can't use its self-assigned version 6 address yet as the source because DAD hasn't said, hey, that's okay. So this is where the host is going to start slacking, if you will, and the host sends out that NS. And if it gets an NA in response, that means another host is already using that self-assigned address, so the host running DAD cannot use it. And this is what happens. That NS goes out, and again, the source address is the IP version 6 unspecified address, all zeros. It's just a double colon, and that's it. The destination is the version 6 address it just assigned itself. If the host hears back and hears an NA, it's going to say, hey, I can't use that address. And the destination of that NA is the all IP version 6 nodes address, FF02:1. Now, it has been said that silence is golden, and I wouldn't know anything about that because I am rarely silent. But I have heard it, and actually in this case, it is true. Because if the neighbor solicitation is sent out and nothing is heard back, then it's all good. No reply to the neighbor solicitation, that's what we're looking for. And the host says to itself, hey, I didn't hear back, so it's all good. I can go ahead and use that address. Now, DAD doesn't only run when there's a self-assigned address. The DAD procedure actually runs when an interface is about to use a version 6 unicast address for the first time, or when a version 6 enabled interface is brought down and then back up. It's a very quick uniqueness check, but it does save us some big headaches down the road. That is it for DAD. We've got some more IP version 6 stuff coming up next.